Hello everyone, welcome back to Science Free. In the last lesson, we learned how to divide a polynomial by a binomial. In this tutorial, we will learn how to divide a polynomial by monomial. For this example, we have 4y squared minus 6y plus 12 over 2. Everything at the top is being divided into the 2 at the bottom. Because everything at the top is being divided into 2, we can separate the terms and write them as a fraction by placing them over 2. For the first term at the top, we divide it into 2. For the second term 6y, we write that over 2, but there is a minus sign before 6y, so we need to write it before, then write 6y over 2. Also, we need to write back the plus sign, then write 12 over 2. We want to divide 4 into 2. 4 divides into 2, leaves 2 at the top. And there is a y squared beside it, so it becomes 2y squared. We want to bring down this minus sign before we work the other fraction out. 6 divides into 2, leaves 3 at the top. And there is a y beside it. So it becomes 3y. We write back this plus sign. Then move over to work out the last fraction. 12 divides into 2, gives 6. We are now finished with the first example. We got an answer of 2y squared minus 3y plus 6. For this example, we also want to separate the terms into fractions. We have 14x to the 4th power divides into 2x squared. We write back this minus sign. And write 4x squared over 2x squared. We carry back this plus sign. And write 18x over 2x squared. 14 divides into 2, leaves 7 times x to the 4th power. X to the 4th power divides into x to the 2 power leaves just x squared. Whenever we are dividing terms with the same base, and they are being raised to powers, we just need to minus the powers. Four divides into 2 leaves 2. The x's will cancel because they have the same power. For this last term, we have 18x divides into 2x squared. Dividing 18 into 2 will leave 9 times x. And dividing x into x squared leaves x raised to the power of negative 1 because we minus the powers. Normally we would have the higher power at the top. But because it is in the opposite, the power will become negative. So that leaves us with 9 times x raised to the power of negative 1. But we want our answer to be in positive exponents, so we have to write 9 and x as a fraction, with x in the denominator base on the exponent rule for negative integers, when we are multiplying. We covered a video on the exponent rules. A link to that video will be provided in the description. Let's try this similar one. We divide 12x raised to the 4th power into 4x squared as a fraction. We then place back the minus sign and write 16x squared over 4x squared. And then we also write a plus sign, and after 8x divides into 4x squared. 12 divides into 4, leaves 3. X raised to the 4th power divides into x raised to the power of 2, leaves x raised to the power of 2. So we have 3x raised to the power of 2. We bring down the negative sign. 16x divides into 4x, leave 4. The x's have the same power, therefore they will cancel each other, leaving only 4. We bring down this next plus sign. Because we got the larger power of x for this fraction at the bottom rather than at the top, we will get a negative exponent for x. 8 divides into 4 leaves 2. X raised to the power of 1 divides into x raised to the power of 2, gives x raised to the power of negative 1. We are left with 2 times x raised to the power of negative 1. We want to make the exponent of x positive, so we write 2 and x as a fraction, with 2 in the numerator and x in the denominator. And we have now reached the final example. We can separate the terms into fractions, then solve. 6 divides into 3, leaves 2. Y raised to the power of 10 divided into y raised to the power of 2 equals y raised to the power of 8. Three divided into 3 will cancel. Y raised to the power of 6 divided into y raised to the power of 2 equals y raised to the power of 4. 5 divided into 3 would give us decimals, so we can leave the fraction as 5 over 3. Y raised to the power of 1 divided into y raised to the power of 2 equals y raised to the power of negative 1. That means we are left with 5 over 3 times y to the negative 1. We want to write the y with a positive exponent, so we write 5 over 3 times y. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you could leave them in the comment section, or you could send us an email through our email provided in the description. And you can also subscribe if you haven't, so you won't miss out on our weekly tutorials.